we do hereby extend a formal offer of military assistance to the Alamegan resistance.
Some of our most trusted veterans died in the war.
Papalymo laid down his life to save us, to give us a chance to make a better future for ourselves.
Hello, and welcome back if you're returning. My name is Burr, and if you are a fan of MMOs, RPGs, JRPGs, art, or music, then you should subscribe because that's what we do here. Also, don't forget to give this video a like because that super helps us out. As you've probably heard, there are plenty of factions in the Resistance, so I'm taking us to see the one with the most influence. Their headquarters are located in a place called Ralgar's Reach, an old temple to the east of here, across the Velodina River. I learned a route that should allow us to avoid Imperial patrols. Stick with me and we'll be there before you know it. I don't see any soldiers. Good, let's cross. You're wondering about the tower to the south? Yeah, it's a pretty big tower. It's part of Castellum Velodina. That's what the Imperials decided to call the old bridge after they fortified it. I call it a great big eyesore. Honestly, you can see that rotten banner from absolutely miles away. They never miss a chance to rub our noses in it, do they? Come on, we should keep moving. It's an ugly joke, bro. Ah, I'm sorry. We're here. On the other side of this pass is Ralgar's Reach. So you say, but all I see are rocks. I presume there is some sort of trick to this? Indeed, a glamour. Good hi, Strola. I take it they have a talented mage in their ranks, or maybe an artificer trained in the modification of glamour prisms. Something like that. The important thing is that it fools the Garleans. Oh, before we go in, I don't know if Tataru told you, but my friend Nago, the messenger who came to the Rising Stones, is a member of this faction. So they know us and they shouldn't attack us on sight. That said, they can be a bit jumpy, so let me lead the way and, don't go reaching for your weapons or anything.
So it's cool for us to use weapons?
And with a sprinkle of demasking dust, all is laid bare.
I remember the old stories, how the Breaker of Worlds came down from on high and cleft the earth with a single blow. Ralgar's Reach, a holy place and a fitting home for the Resistance, for the brave and the true, the loyal sons and daughters of Alamigo. They were waiting for us there, men and women whose souls still cried out for what was lost, for what could be ours again.
You'll forgive us our precautions, but we couldn't be sure who had crossed the barrier. We see you now for who you are, though, the scions of the Seventh Dawn. Now, I know you would not have come all this way unless you had something important to discuss, and I'm eager to hear what it is you have to say. But let's not do this on our doorstep, eh? Come with me. Okie doke. Do you want to just stand out here and talk about everything? That would be the perfect place.
Allow me to welcome you once more to Ralga's Reach, our humble headquarters. My name is Conrad Kemp, and I have the dubious honor of overseeing operations here.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Master Kemp. I am Alphino Leveilleur of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, as are my comrades. Before I speak of our purpose here, pray allow me to thank you for sheltering Ida, forgive me, Lys, and Papalymo at great risk to yourselves.
No, there's no need for that. They risked their necks for us enough times. 'Twas the least we could do.
I wanted to, about the mask and...
Don't fret over that. You're not the first person to take up arms against the Empire under a false name. We'd do the same if we had any sense. My condolences for your loss, child.
Papalymo laid down his life to save us, to give us a chance to make a better future for ourselves. There will never be a better time to drive the Garleans from our lands. But we have to take the lead on this. We can't leave it to fanatics like Ilberd.
More than a few of our people were taken in by his promises. Followed him all the way to the wall. Good men and women who never came back. When Monago told us what had happened, how the bastard had made sacrifices of them for his twisted ritual, by Rhalga it filled me with an unholy fury. But what's done is done. Best we can do now is see that it wasn't all in vain.
That is why we are here today, sir, to see that some good comes of this tragedy. On behalf of the Eorzean Alliance, we do hereby extend a formal offer of military assistance to the Alamegan resistance.
Do you now? Well, go on then. I'm sure there's more to it than that. So that's the way of it, eh? The Alliance, hoping to avoid a direct confrontation with the superior forces of the Empire, wishes to engage them by proxy with our vastly inferior ones. My comrades and I must confer on your proposal. A moment, if you please.
Of course, Master Kemp. Take all the time you require.
So, it would seem we find ourselves with a surfeit of free time. Forgive me, you are free to look around Rhalga's Reach. In fact, I would encourage you to do so. It'll give you a better grasp of our current circumstances. Thank you, Master Kemp. I believe we will do just that. Let us make the most of this opportunity and assess the Resistance's capabilities. Free to poke our noses wheresoever we will, eh? I like the sound of that. Well, I already know this place inside out. I can show you around if you like, Burr. Sure. Great, let's get started. I'll bet you think the Resistance is mostly made up of Alamegan Highlanders like me, but the truth is that we don't even account for half. We've got Hellsguard from all the way over by the Spine in here, and plenty of Seekers of the Sun like Nago. There's even some Beastmen. Well, Beast women, I suppose. Like that one over there. She's an Ananta. They've been with us for a while now. Well, one of the smaller factions has. The rest won't have anything to do with us. We're no different from the Garleans to them. They keep to themselves, spending all their time crafting. Ananta make the most amazing jewelry, by the way. They use magics to twist metals and crystal into shapes you wouldn't believe. It's a pity people hardly ever get to see their work, but then most don't even know they exist. That's enough about them anyway. Let's take a closer look at the statue of Rhalgar, shall we?
Sure.
Pretty awe-inspiring, isn't it? The Breaker of Worlds, who guided our ancestors to these lands all those centuries ago. Ida used to tell me the story on stormy nights. She wanted me to understand, to remember. At the end of the 5th astral era, when the waters rose higher and higher, people all across Eorzea beseeched the heavens for a sign. And lo, a burning star appeared in the eastern sky and led the way to these mountains of Gyr Abania. They who are saved by his grace pledge to honor and revere him, to devote themselves to great works without and within. A storm of blood approaches fast. Hells open, heavens weep, for no one soul doth lie beyond the measure of his reach. That last part was inscribed on the stone by a monk of the Fist of Ralgar. Ida explained it to me. A day will come bringing strife and sorrow that none may escape. Waste not these precious hours, but in quiet preparation make strong the body and mind. I don't know if that storm of blood is finally upon us. But if it is, I have to believe that everything we've been through, everything that has led us to this point, will see us through in the end. I'm guessing it is, since that's the name of this expansion pack. Sorry. That was a little bit melodramatic, wasn't it? Let's keep moving, shall we? Off to the infirmary. This is the infirmary, as you can probably tell. Here's where the resistance healers patch up the wounded and tend to the sick. No matter how carefully we planned our operations, casualties were inevitable. It's a sad thing to think about, but it's also important to remember the cost, as Conrad would say. We should go. I'll show you the Aetheryte Plaza next. Oh, I've already been there. You know, oh my gosh, I hate when we do this. My warrior lady is not very good with personal space. When you've seen one Aetheryte, you've seen them all, right? Not quite. This one's an older design, dating back decades to when the Fist of Ralgar was still there. It may look a little different, but it works just as well as any other. I'll show you where the sutlers are next, but don't forget to attune to the Aetheryte before we go. Arms, armor, potions, you name it, these folks have got it. And the resistance would be in a bad way without brave merchants to keep it provisioned. If you're short on anything, or you need something repaired, these are the people to speak to. Oh, Alphino and Alizé are here. Why don't we see how they are getting on? Come to take the measure of our friendly neighborhood merchants. They're a bold lot, that much is plain. If the Imperials found out they were peddling their wares to the Resistance, they would be lucky to escape with their lives. 'Tis a gamble, aye, and I admire their courage, but their motives could hardly be said to be altruistic. Ah, here you are. I've been looking all over for you. We finished discussing your proposal and we're ready to receive you all back at the tent. I've sent someone to fetch Stola and Kryl, so if you'd like to follow me. Kitty cats. Mifrid. He says, we thought about it and no.
How about no, Scott?
Thank you all for waiting. I, Conrad Kemp, do hereby accept the Eorzean Alliance's proposal. You must understand, however, that our cooperation comes with certain caveats.
Those caveats being...
I take no joy in this, just so you know. Were it within my power, I'd offer you more assistance. But the Resistance is far more fragmented than you realize. The men and women in my care belong to but one of many factions. Simply put, I can only speak for the people of Rhalgr's Reach. Now, I have every intention of appealing to the others, and I expect many will agree, but it will take time, and I cannot guarantee universal support.
Understood. I shall see that the Alliance is under no misapprehensions as to your position.
Much obliged. But that's not the whole of it. As you can imagine, the loss of those who cast their lot with the Griffin left us short on numbers. Some of our most trusted veterans died at the wall, and we've had to fill their posts with the young and inexperienced. Frankly, everything's in a right bloody mess.
Oh, we'd be more than happy to help you get back on your feet. If we're going to work together, we'll be doing ourselves a favor.
I just gotta point this out. Like, how could no one realize that the Griffin was, like, absolutely insane?
He went bonkers, Bob.
Well, there's no shortage of work to be done, that's for sure. We're in dire need of new blood, too.
Ishtola and I could lend a hand in the infirmary. From what I saw, they could do with a few more healers.
Very well. I, for my part, shall return to the Rising Stones. I'm certain there are others among the Scions who would welcome the opportunity to fight for Alamegan liberation.
Is there anything else we can do to help?
I had something else in mind for you, Lot. Monargo and Mefrid will tell you more.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
Understood. We won't let you down.
Right then, Monargo and Mefrid are to be our keepers. Knowing not of what they require, one task is as good as the other. Make your choice, Burr. At the risk of repeating myself, it's still hard for me to believe that we meet again here, of all places. Though I reckon you probably don't remember me after all this time, eh? I'm gonna say, of course I do. Of course I do! I'm impressed. Given everything you went on to accomplish, you'd be forgiven for forgetting all about your time in Quarrymill. Suffice it to say, we didn't forget about you either, nor the lives you saved. As for me, I went to Little Alamigo while Galleon was recovering. Gundobald was my former commander and an old friend, and I had a lot on my mind. In the end, I decided to disband our unit. I told the men to live their lives as they saw fit. Some chose to remain in Little Alamigo, and others went to Ul'dah for work. But as you can see, I chose to come back to Garabanya and join Conrad and the others. I've kept busy since then, ferrying people and provisions across the border and back. It's not been easy, but it's been fulfilling. Today, however, we'll be heading east into the peaks. Conrad thinks we might have luck finding new recruits in the village of Alagana. Oh, Alagana? If you're going there, you're taking me with you. Ah, that's right. You're from Alagana, aren't you? Elise. By all means, we'd welcome the company. There'll be more to it than just asking around, but we can talk about it on the way. Make your preparations and meet me by the tunnel to the peaks. Huh. This tunnel will take us all the way to the peaks. We're on a mission for Conrad to Alagana. Clear the barricade if you would. I like their hats. Aye, sir. Shouldn't take more than a moment. There are more villagers there than out here, but also more Imperials keeping a close eye on things. We'll need to tread carefully. Ooh.
I remember the peaks of Garabanya, silent watchmen that would stand long after we were gone. We came seeking allies to join us in the fight against the Empire. People who had had enough. People who had suffered every possible indignity. Who had been treated like animals, day after day after day.
We have a glamour in place here too, as you may have noticed. So far as the Imperials are concerned, this is not more than a testament to the savage impulses of a lesser race. Remember though, once we leave these ruins, We'll have no glamours to conceal us. The village is to the east. Keep watch for patrols as we move. Nary an Imperial in sight. That's a mercy. Alagana's due east, past that bridge. Follow me, it's not much further. This is going along too smoothly. You can rest easy. We made it. This is Alagana. It feels strange coming home like this. I always imagined it would be... Oh, sorry. That has nothing to do with why we're here. We need recruits. Aye, we do, but as I said back at the Reach, it's a little more complicated than just asking for volunteers these days. As you know, we're short-handed because many of our people were taken in by the Griffin's promises and went to the wall, never to return. It wasn't just them, though. Folks from all over, including some of my former comrades, answered his call to arms. As for why we came to this particular village, it's rumored that Alagana lost a few youths as well. If there's truth to that, then there could be others sympathetic to the cause. Then again, after the Griffin's betrayal, they may be suspicious of outsiders claiming allegiance to the Resistance, and rightfully so. So with all that in mind, how are we supposed to convince them to join? I mean, I knew it wouldn't be as simple as giving a speech in the village square. Not if you didn't want the place to be burned to the ground, no. You might as well piss in the Viceroy's eye.
Ew. Ew.
We'll need to be a good deal more circumspect than that. You never know when an Imperial spy is listening. We must speak with the Elder first. I know for a fact that he can be trusted, but listen to what he has to say and decide what to do after. Sounds like a plan. Let's hope there are still some brave men and women here willing to fight. Ragnfrid, the village elder, is over by the shore. No time like the present. Let's have a word. Ragnfrid, more like Ragnfridge.
No.
Is this Ragnfrid? Oh, it is. Don't know you, traveler. You a merchant? You'll not find much custom here. Greetings and well met, Elder, and sincerest apologies that I did not send word ahead of our arrival. Too long have I been away from Alagana, and I would know of your recent troubles. Ah, your comrades of Mifrid. I see. Speak on, though I suspect I know your purpose. The Griffin came with many men and left with many more. Such is the rumor. Is it true? He lit a fire in their hearts and then dangled a dream before their tired eyes. And now you come to steal away what few remain. The Griffin was a traitor and a madman, and we had no part in his schemes. We have made an agreement with the Alliance. This time it will be different. This time? Cold comfort to the dead and the ones they left behind. How much more must we give before you've had your fill? But surely you hate the Empire as much as we do. They took our lands, our traditions, even our God, and they demand a fifth of what little we've got left. I hate the bastards with every fiber of my being. But hate's not enough, my friend. I can't. We can't keep doing this. I'll not tell anyone you came, but you need to go, now. Leave us be and never return. You've got no right to speak to us like that. I've got a quarry that was producing barely enough to keep us fed, and that was before our young men and women went off to die for your bloody cause. So yes, I've got every right to tell you to leave my village. No, you don't, because it's my village too, my home. What the hell's are you on about? Wait, I know those eyes. You're one of Curtis's girls. Curtis. Lise Hext, and I'm here to take back my homeland. By Ralgar, the last time I saw you, you were... I didn't even know if you were still alive, and I never thought you would come. I almost didn't, and my sister never will. Lots of others won't either, and that's why we've got to carry on the fight. You even sound like him. Huh. As you say, I've got no right to tell you to leave. Alagana is as much your home as it is mine. But I say to you again, we can give no more. Yes, I heard you the first time. Let's go. You'd best keep your distance if you know what's good for you. Say your piece and move on. Looking for folks down on their luck? Congratulations, you found one. As you can see, my leg ain't what it used to be. Some days I can hardly walk for the pain. Mornings are the worst, especially after cold nights. Hard labor's right out. Too much pain and trouble for others. There's a tea what helps with it, though. I need to grind a chopped woolly horn and a hornbill talon for the blend. I'll go get it. Eh? You'll go and get some for me, just like that. You needn't trouble yourself, so... Don't worry, I love doing random tasks for people.
She lies! She lies!
A new face in Alagana? Huh? What would you ask of me, then? A stranger and a generous soul besides. Bollocks. There's not more suspicious than a good Samaritan. On the other hand, if you were an Imperial agent, I expect you'd go about your business with more discretion. Bugger me, you really are here to help, aren't you? Very well, I'll take you up on your offer, stranger. My little brother's working the rocks by Grim and Enid. He's got something for me. Can you go and get it? Right then. Frightened Curl is his name. Ask him for the leftovers. He ought to understand. Okie dokie.
And yes, sometimes that could mean drugs.
Huh. Here for the leftovers, are you? Not like my brother to send someone in his stead, but so be it. It's all in the sacks over yonder. They're bleeding heavy, mind, so be careful when you pick 'em up. What are they? Unconscionably heavy sacks. What kind of leftovers are you serving? Just like leftover smashed rocks? You've been gone a while. What brings you back to Alagana? Well, I told you I was getting you your stuff for your stupid tea, remember? Oh, I never meant to. I mean, in times like these, you never think people will actually... This country's hard on people, but it's not just that. The Imperials, they've made it known I'm not to be helped. A dead man's good for one lesson, you know? Whereas a live one... You're with the Resistance, right? I suppose there's no reason not to tell you then. My father, God's rest his soul, was deathly sick at the time, and so I'd gone out into the forest, spear in hand, to gather herbs. And then I had the good fortune to run into an Imperial patrol. My weapon marked me as a rebel, or so they said. Not that it had made a difference if I'd fought back. I knew what the lot of them were about the moment that Centurion laid eyes on me. Didn't matter in the end, of course. Some people just like to hurt others. And by the time I limped back to the hut, it was too late for my father. Too late for me, too. Aye. And many others, I imagine. Help them, too, if you like. They'll be grateful and say thank you. But beyond that, I wouldn't hope for much. Ah, the new face. You have my leftovers? Yes. Huh. Well, on me. You actually went and brought the whole lot. Much obliged, much obliged. It's saltpeter for making fire sand, in case you're curious what's it all for. The rocks by the lakes have got good deposits. Tain't hard for my brother to pass for any other plotting quarryman, all the while sweeping bits and pieces off to the side to bundle up and sell to the sutlers what trade with the Resistance. It's a living, and a way of fighting back besides. Our way of spitting in the Garlean's eye for putting our father in an Imperial uniform and shipping him off to some faraway province 15 years ago. To know if he's dead or alive, even. Though if he were alive, he'd not be long for this world if we were caught fighting for the Resistance. So this is the best we can do. That's the long and short of it. We can do what we can, though we know it's not enough. I think you'll find that most folks here ain't much different. Everybody's got a reason, but in the end the result is the same. I suppose I just wanted you to know is all. That we know why you're here. That even if we can't join you, we wish we could. Alright, Medford, you win. Nobody wants to hang out with us. Well, Medford, we failed, is what I need to tell this guy. Ah, there you are, Burr. I've been trying to help the villagers deal with this food shortage of theirs. Recently, the Imperials have been swooping into villages unannounced and seizing supplies. Oh, motorcycle. In order to prevent the people from stockpiling. In case they might be in league with the Resistance. It's not much, but I've taught them a few tricks to better hide what little they've got left. How's Lise getting on, by the way? You'd think people would be more inclined to trust a local girl, assuming they remember her, that is. Oh yeah, where is she? No, I didn't mean to. And where were you these past 20 years? Where were you when we were being ground under the Black Wolf's boot on the other side of his bastard wall, living the high life, I'll wager? That's not fair. Oh, and who's this? Another one of your freedom-loving friends? Dating to help us poor unfortunate souls? Trying to whip us into a frenzy so we'll go and storm a castrum with our pickaxes and shovels? Leave, all of you, before you bring a cohort down on us all. And you, don't you dare speak. Like you're one of us. You can't even begin to understand what we've been through. You weren't here, Lise. You weren't here. This is my home and I love it with all my heart. And if you truly have any love for it too, you'll keep us out of your doomed rebellion. He has a point. No matter what I say or do, it doesn't change the fact I left them behind. But this isn't about me or anyone else. It's about El Amigo. Let's go and find Medford. Medford. Just stand by me. I've got my glowing aura of rage. The inner beast is hanging around me. Looks like the Elder wasn't the only one unwilling to hear us out. Can't blame them, given what happened at the wall. I thought I might be able to help appeal to them as a fellow... I don't know. But if anything, it just made them angrier. I haven't lived through it like they have. I can't claim to know the struggle like they do either, Lise. I ran too, but if I hadn't, I had never met Burr or the rest of you. And we might not be here today in a position to make a difference. So I don't regret my choices. Nor will I apologize for them. There's more than one way to fight. Yeah, that's right. Who dis? Help! Someone! Anyone! We need help! I don't like the sound of that one bit. Come on. Recrata, the Tributum, and the bloody Ratman, damn it all. You there, take a deep breath and then tell us what happened. It was all business as usual. The Tributum's due soon, and we were taking it to the Imperials when the Kikirin attacked. They took my brother and our money. Took him where? Ruins to the south of here. It was just an old temple before they came, and... Listen, Recrata's the only family I've got left. If I lose him, The Ziggurat? If the Ratman took him there, he's as good as dead. Wow, this guy is real cynical, isn't he? We've got to get after them. If there's even a chance our brother is still alive, we have to try. You're right, Lise. We've got to help them. If not for the missing man, then for the Tributum. The Garleans won't suffer excuses if they're late.
Hey all, so I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. If you liked this video, please like this video because that'll help gather more folks to the video and the channel. We are aiming for 1K, so we're almost there. Also, if you are new and you haven't yet, please subscribe. We have a Discord link that is very, very fun. That link will be in the description underneath this video. And I also have all my other social media links and stuff that will be under there as well. And also, I do have a Patreon if you're interested. That link is below, and that does help get us to support the channel so I can be here and do more stuff with you guys. Alright, from all of us to all of you. Bye.